How's it guys, Stefan here from Diesel Tech. We are back with another DIY video. This time around it's on how to change the bushings on the leaf springs on a rear suspension or axle of a Toyota Hilux 2012 model in this particular case. As some of you might have noticed on our 4x4 trail videos, there was a terrible noise coming from the Hilux while driving the flex kind of positions on the terrain. After some investigation, it seemed like the front bushes on the rear axle leaf springs were worn out. From a safety perspective, it is quite important to make sure you have the correct lifting and stand equipment to make sure that the vehicle is secure at all times while suspended in the air. The biggest challenge I had on this particular task was to have enough room for movement in order to elevate the vehicle or lower the axle to free the spring and remove it from its position. You will have to take the wheels off, you will have to lower or move the axle up and down, and you will have to block up the chassis of the vehicle, and while doing all of that you need to keep the vehicle as stable as possible. The ideal situation would be to have a vehicle lift in order to lift the vehicle as a whole unit up into the air, and that will also ensure that you have enough movement to elevate the vehicle as high as needed in order to do the work. So the idea with this video is only to guide you should you wish to do a similar job like this yourself. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. The only wrong way of doing it is if you do not have the proper lifting and blocking equipment. How you do it is to your own discretion. And guys, by all means, if you don't feel comfortable doing this by yourself, the DIY way, then obviously the right way is to take it into your local dealer or fitment center and pay the extra bucks and have them done it for you. As easy as that. I will give you a quick rundown on what you can expect to require for the tools in order to do the job. Alrighty, so let me give you a rough rundown on what you would need in order to do the task. Some basic sandpaper, wire brush, and some form of screwdriver or scraper or anything else to remove hardened debris. Then you would also require a ratchet strap. This is to make sure that the rear axle stays in position. So when you return the leaf springs to be fitted, in order to have the axle and the center hole on the leaf spring line up, you would need the ratchet strap to pull the axle slightly forward. A 1/2 inch power bar, 19 tube socket millimeter, or a 19 millimeter normal size socket might do as well, but I would definitely recommend the tube socket in order to get to the shock absorber base bolts or nuts. 1/2 inch short extension, 1/2 inch ratchet, and a normal 19 millimeter spanner. In order to loosen the brake cable, you would also need a ratchet or spanner, might do as well, a 12 millimeter particular size. In this particular case I used a 3/8 size ratchet. In order to lift and move up and down the rear axle, as part of the process you would need some form of trolley jack. Remember, this is not to elevate or lift up the whole vehicle, it's only to move around the axle. With that I also used my 20-ton hydraulic bottle jack, and of course a proper rated safety stand or trestle. The ones that I've got, they are rated at 3 tons, which are more than efficient to hold the vehicle weight. And last but definitely not least is some form of hammer to kindly persuade any restricted movement should it be necessary. Guys, please just make sure that whatever jack and stands you decide to use, that they actually cater for the weight of your vehicle, especially if you are a heavy traveler overlander and you might have some extras fitted on your vehicle. You might need something larger than a 3 or 4 ton safety stand. And of course, what will the whole job be without the necessary spares?
So I'll only be doing the one side of the Hilux as a demo. Obviously whatever has been done on this side will have to be duplicated on the other side of the suspension as well. So what I did was I managed to get hold of some good quality marine application general purpose grease. You're looking for the bushes, you're looking something in particular of the moly additive type that's in the grease somewhere as well. So the grease I'll be applying on the inside of the bushes, on the outside of the bushes, on the outside or outer diameter of the bolts where the bushes will be fitting over, as well as on the bushes on the inside of the leaf spring itself, which I will show you now. This will ensure a maximum lifespan of the bush, as well as lubrication and preventing dirt from entering the surfaces. It is quite obvious that the taller bushes will go into the taller shaft of the shackle at the back, and the shorter bushes will go into the front shorter or the bottom shorter leg of the shackle at the back. Okay, so what I will do is I will pre-lube and prep the one bush in order to fit it on the inside of the chassis, rear bush or rear hole, and thereafter I will insert the shackle. I will insert this shackle from the outside of the chassis towards this bush, where they will meet in the middle, obviously. On the outer end of the bush, it's got like these grooves all around, set into the Teflon or the plastic. Now those grooves is basically to reserve lubrication. So what you want to do is, while lubing them, make sure that you apply enough grease sideways in order to fill them up, so that when you install them and they get to be put to good use, they have some reserve lubrication for the longevity or the lifespan of the bush. Okay, so leaf spring is in, bolt is in at the front, shackle and bolts are in at the rear. Now it's only a matter of lining up the axle onto the leaf spring center again, and then tie down the shock. This is what has been found left over of the front bushes on the leaf springs. So I'm pretty much convinced that this was the original cause of the noise of the Hilux. It'll be interesting to see whenever we do the next trail, whatever caused the noise, whether it's still there or not, and my money is on these guys.
I hope that the video was quite informative and was helpful. Please let us know in the comments below should you have any questions or what you would like to see more of in the future, and we will try our best to assist. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned, stay safe, keep well, and we'll see you on the next video. Cheers.